when it comes to losing weight, this is by far the number one mistake that I see with people, which is the weekends. And what we're going to be talking about today are the 3 main mistakes you're probably making and how you can fix them. Because I've seen this over and over. People are on track during the week, but then when it comes to weekend, they ruin everything. So you control your calories, your protein, you hit your workouts, your steps, and you're fine from Monday to Friday. And then Friday evening comes, Saturday and Sunday, and you ruin everything. You don't get steps, you miss your workouts, you eat crap, you drink, and you sleep at different times. So what we're going to be talking about today is exactly what you should be doing in order to stay on track. And the number one mistake that I see is with food. So you're controlling your calories, but then when it comes to Friday or Saturday, you don't track your calories, you don't track your protein, and you eat all over the place. So the number one thing that you should be doing is by far, you don't need to control your calories, but at least you shouldn't have a cheat day. Okay, so you can have a cheat meal, but not a cheat day, okay? Because what you need to understand is that in 1 or 2 bad meals, you can literally ruin all the calorie deficit from your whole week. Imagine this. From Monday to Friday, you're cutting 200 calories per day. So on a weekly basis, you're, let's say, on a 1,000 calorie deficit. If on Friday or Saturday, you're gonna eat, let's say, a pizza or fries and sodas and ice cream, in literally one meal, you're gonna have like 1,500, 2,000, or maybe 3,000 calories. So one day can ruin all your progress of the week. So you need to be aware of this. So if you want to have like kind of a cheat meal, which by the way, I don't advise, because I believe that a cheat meal is like telling a drug addict that he can have drugs once a week. Okay, so I don't believe that's the best approach. So I believe that you should cut it completely, and that's it. Like, you're not going to tell an alcoholic guy to just drink once a week, or a drug addict to have drugs once a week. So I believe that you shouldn't have that cheat meal in the first place. But now let's define cheat meal. Okay, because a lot of people ask me, when can I have a cheat meal? It depends on what's the cheat meal. If it's going to be pizza, fries, burger, sodas, ice cream, like, this is crap. This is literally like massively spiking your insulin, zero nutritional value. So this is something that probably you shouldn't do. But if we're talking about, like, let's say having more potatoes or rice, or eating maybe one ice cream, that's fine. Or eating more chocolate, like, that's totally fine. But a cheat meal doesn't need to be necessarily bad. Like, for example, I don't crave a cheat meal like that, because every day I eat chocolate. I eat dark chocolate every day. I eat Greek yogurt with honey and berries and protein powder every day. So I mix it all together, and this is a great snack. So it fights my cravings, and I don't feel the need to have a cheat meal. So that's the number one advice. Okay, so if you're not tracking calories or protein during the weekend, at least commit to one cheat meal, but then cut on the other. So for example, don't have breakfast, and don't snack all the time. Commit to one meal on that day. Simply that. Don't eat more, and then you need to kind of punish yourself with a little bit more steps. So if you eat more, just walk more, get some steps, compress the feeding window, hydrate more, try to walk more after the meal to at least decrease your glucose levels to facilitate gastric emptying and digestion. So this is one advice that I would give you. Commit to one meal that you can be slightly off track, but not one full day. Walk a little bit before the meal, after the meal, and at least, I would say, if you feel that the choices were not so good, increase your step count. Like, instead of 10,000 steps, go to 12,000 or 15,000, walk 30 minutes, 40 minutes after that meal. Okay, so it's all a matter of balance. So you don't need to eat clean all the time. You don't need to be 100% on track all the time, but you need to understand that there is a balance. Like, if you want to eat more, you just need to move more in order to stay lean, to be healthy. So just try to do this, okay? Because I've seen, again, I don't want this for you. I've seen this over and over. People ruin completely their journey on the weekend, okay? So commit to less meals, shorten your feeding window, more steps. And one more thing that you can do as well regarding this first point is, if you're eating more, get a good workout in before, at least, because if you're, let's be honest, if you want to build muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus. Use that calorie surplus to build muscle. That can be a good point as well. So for example, if you know that one day you're going to have, let's say, a brunch, or you go to a buffet, or you're going to eat way more than you should, get a morning workout done, lift weights, Like as simple as that. Lift weights, push yourself hard, and then have that meal. You're going to use those calories to build muscle. Okay, so that can be a great tool, and it's something that I usually tell around Christmas time, which is don't cut, like you don't need to cut on sugars or cookies or like all these Christmas foods. Like simply work out harder, like use those calories to build muscle. So when you're in that calorie surplus, that can be a great tool for you to build muscle. So strength training before, eat massively, and then just walk. Okay, this can be a good tool. Of course, don't take advantage of this. Don't do this every single day, just once a week. Now, the second mistake that I see a lot of time is simply you skip workouts. Okay, and this again is kind of related to the first point, which is if you're eating more, at least don't skip the workouts. Don't skip the steps. Keep your workouts. Like if you're like, it doesn't matter, full body workout or a push-pull leg, like it doesn't matter. Don't skip the workouts. Try to work out more on the weekend, maybe, because if you're eating more on the weekend, maybe you should work out harder on the weekend. So don't miss the workouts and don't miss the steps. Like make 10,000 steps a non-negotiable. Okay. Especially if you're going to eat more, I would increase that to 12, 14, or even 15,000 steps. This will give you margin to eat more. This will keep keep the structure. This will keep your habit, and at least you're going to be somehow on track. Okay, that's the second thing that you need to be doing. Don't miss your workouts. Don't miss your steps. If you're going to eat more, increase your workout intensity, increase your step count, and then kind of reward yourself with a meal. And the third mistake that I see, which is very common, is simply you have alcohol, and alcohol messes up with everything. Okay, why? Because when you drink alcohol, your sleep will be compromised. So sleep will be messed up, REM sleep, deep sleep. Your food choices won't be the best. Okay, so probably you're going to crave food that you wouldn't have in a normal situation. You're increasing your cortisol levels, you're decreasing your testosterone. So alcohol, I would say, is the number one fat loss killer, like by far, that I see with people. Like I see a lot of people on track and then they drink, and those drinks, like they literally mess up everything. So, and it's the same thing. If you can eliminate alcohol altogether, that will be the best. But if you still want to drink, commit to 1 or 2 drinks, and just make sure that for every glass of alcohol that you have, at least drink 1 glass of water. Okay. And make sure as well that you increase your protein intake, especially before, so that you prevent muscle breakdown. Okay. So increase your protein intake, increase your water intake. Ideally, don't drink alcohol, but if you still want to drink, try to do these 2 things, and don't drink the last 2 hours before going to bed. Okay, so that at least you digest. Okay, so that's going to be something huge, because again, alcohol destroys your body. Like your hormones are messed up, cortisol, testosterone levels. You're gonna eat junk. Then you're gonna, like, your sleep will be compromised, and then it's probably gonna take you time to recover. Okay, and this is something that you probably notice as well, which is like you're not 20 anymore. Like maybe when you were 20 or something, it was easier to recover. Like you would drink and the next day you would wake up fine. But now maybe 30, 35, 40, 50, like it takes longer for your body to digest, to metabolize, to get rid of the alcohol that you have in your body. Okay, so if I could give one advice, cut alcohol. This will make every single thing super, super easy for you. And it will make fat loss effortless. Like literally, you're saving calories, you're boosting your testosterone levels, you're decreasing your cortisol, your sleep will be better. Like, and I've seen this over and over with my clients. Like I have clients that when they start, they are drinking still, like they have like a couple of drinks here and there. And when they start, they commit to not to drink, and they see a huge difference. Like they lose 20, 25 pounds in 12 weeks, in 24 weeks, they lose like 40, 45 pounds. They build muscle, they improve their sleep. I have clients reversing diabetes. Like I have one client, like he was pre-diabetic, huge, like insulin super high, like cholesterol, hypertension, and all these things. And in 3 months, he fixed all of this. He got rid of the medication. His triglycerides decreased. His blood pressure is normal, just because he cut alcohol. And of course, he started to have better habits. He started to work out, like watch out his calories, the quality of the food, the protein intake, but mainly because of alcohol intake. Okay, guys, these are the 3 main tips that I would give you for you to stay on track during this weekend. Okay, this is probably something that you know already, but it's always good to be reminded. So The number one, just compress your feeding window. Don't have a cheat day, one cheat meal. Be mindful of the choices as well. Okay, don't ruin completely in one meal. Okay, so what's a cheat meal for you? Like, try at least to have your protein first. Okay, don't start the meal with a bunch of carbs or rice or pastas or a lot of breads or cookies or anything. Like, start with your protein first. Okay, start with the protein, and then after you can have some carbs. Okay, but if you start with protein, you're not going to crave as many carbs after. Okay, so compress your feeding window, less meals, less snacking. If you're going to eat more, at least commit to one meal, and after that, shut the window and you don't eat anything else. The second thing that you can do is workout. Okay, increase your step count, increase your workouts, increase the workout intensity, use the workout wisely to build muscle. Okay, so if you're going to eat more, that's totally fine. Eat more, work out harder. Use those calories to build muscle. Use those calories as fuel for your metabolism. Okay, so because you don't need always to be in a calorie deficit. Okay, so if you're building muscle, that's great. Okay, so use that one meal for extra fuel. Work out hard before strength training, and then eat massively if you want. You're going to use wisely those calories. After that, go for a walk, 10, 15 minutes, 30-minute walk after meal to facilitate gastric emptying, decrease your glucose levels, and you will be fine. Okay, so again, as I mentioned before, don't take advantage of this. Do this once a week. Try not to do it more. And the third thing that I would tell you is be careful. Be careful with alcohol intake. Okay, so alcohol, ideally, cut alcohol. If you can't cut alcohol completely, at least for one drink, have one glass of water. Don't drink the last 2 hours before bedtime, ideally. Increase your protein intake as well. And that's basically it. Okay, so these are my main tips for you to be on track this weekend. I hope you found this helpful. Of course, I could give you way more tips, but I believe these 3 are the most useful you can apply starting today. Let me know in the comments what questions you have regarding the weekends or fat loss or muscle building, or what's your main struggle when it comes to the weekends, and I'll be more than happy to clarify and to answer every single one of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.